Started. All right, you guys, welcome to our week 7 Zoom chat. Can you believe that we've been doing this consistently for 7 weeks?
No.
Like, is that the most consistent y'all have ever been? Right? I know, I feel the same way. Like, I'm always consistent. I got to give myself more credit. But it's interesting to me that, like, this particular 90-day, these Zoom chats, like, keep me going. I don't know about you guys, but to me, like, I can't live without them. I can't live without seeing you guys once a week and, like, connecting and, like, visually learning from everybody. And I really wanted to do something different tonight because if you look in when you go into the training center in your back office where you've registered for the 90-day training and you go into each week is now becoming somewhat repetitive, right? Because why? Because our business is so repetitive. It's not rocket science, like we're working with people. That's the exciting part of what we do here. And that's what makes it exciting to me and keeps me motivated day after day to continue doing Isagenix is literally, just all of that. It's being able to meet new people. Today I met a really awesome guy. Get this. This is so interesting. Do you guys, I don't know if you remember, like a couple years back, there was a guy he had a book and everything. It was called Fit to Fat to Fit. Does anyone remember that? Okay. So I coached him with his cleansing right after he gained all that weight and then wanted to start losing it. I coached him through that first part of his cleansing. He did a 30-day cleanse, but he did the President's Pack, and then he finished that all out, and then he ended up using the protein for a while, and then a big company paid for him to create his own products, which was super cool, right? Like, you wouldn't say that, right? So, I can't blame him, but I really enjoyed coaching him through that experience. And it's really interesting because, like, what is it? It's been like 5 years or something, like 5 years later now, a guy calls me out of the blue and he's like, hey, he sends me a message on Facebook. Hey, is this the Adrian that coached Drew Manning? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can I connect with you? And I said, absolutely. Let me schedule an appointment for you. Scheduled an appointment in my scheduler for him. Called him on the phone. I said, hey, what can I do for you? And he's like, I remember you. And I felt like at the time, because I was still in college, that I couldn't afford doing the Isagenix system. And now I've really struggled, like with weight and everything else. And I've lost some weight and gained it back, lost some weight and gained it back. And I've noticed that people that you coach typically don't gain it back. I was like, yeah, that's true. They usually don't, because we really focus on creating a lifestyle. And, he basically just said, I would love it. I'm ready now. I've got a great job and everything like that. And so I'm ready. I'm like, okay, cool. But isn't that neat? Like 5 years later? Like,
wow.
That's
cool.
I love it. Like,
yeah.
And you wouldn't do you have to stay the course. You have to be consistent, and
you're right. You do.
It pays off. So I'm really excited to coach him, especially just because of his drive and his desire and, everything. I mean, he's really in it to win it. So I am excited. Okay. Let me get rid of some of these. I have people setting up. Oh, snap. I clicked some. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. My eyeballs. All right. So on Tuesday, we really focused and we were talking about getting a new member started, right? Because we had that picture, that image put out. How many of you guys saw that in the group? About getting a new member started, right? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Okay. I'm so glad that you guys all saw that, because I'm like the first to admit that now I'm in a routine, and we don't teach this enough, I don't think, like how to get somebody started right. And it's so important because when you do get somebody started right, it creates so much like fluidity in your system. It's like you really have your own system, and then everybody kind of follows along, and there's less and less coaching to be done, and you get to really focus on working with your builders when you follow the system of getting somebody started right. So I want to kind of open it up, and along those lines, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, anything they'd like to add about getting a new member started right? Time is yours.
Sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place, and sometimes I feel like I need this checklist in front of me to go, okay, sign up for this, and I'm just all over the place giving them so much information, and then, or I don't give them what they really need to really get started right, because you want it to flow into, okay, find your 2 people, post on Facebook, I mean, boom, 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 kind of a checklist. And I don't do that. It's just all over the place. And then 4 weeks later, you want them to post on Facebook when they should have done it when they first started, you know?
Yeah, I want to really encourage you guys to be kind to yourself in this process, like of getting people started, because it's not that we don't miss things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like some of us, we miss things, and that is, you know, it is good. I would print it out and have it in front of you. Because I think it's really important. But if you miss something, you guys, this business is flexible. Yeah. Like it's about relationships. So if you were to call somebody back like from a while ago and just reconnect with them and say, hey, you know, I really feel like there's something I needed to share with you, and that is that I don't know if you really understood that, you know, you can get your products paid for. And I would love to send you a link to that. Are you interested now? Like, would making some extra cash get you interested right now? So know that this business can be forgiving because you are dealing with people. Like if I look back in my back office, I've enrolled over 200 people. I'm still reconnecting. In fact, Monday this week, I sent out a mass email to every single person that was in my downline organization that's ever ordered to me. And I let them know that we're coming out with a big flavor that, you know, down in there, you know, if you're interested, you know, in creating a secondary source of income, reach out to me. Like if you were running because you're running a business, it's important to have past clients' emails and phone numbers and things on hand so that you can reach out. But if your clientele is not that big yet, don't be afraid to just start making calls or send them a text message. You know, hey, when would be a good time to talk this week? I'd love to reach out and connect with you. I think there's something, you know, that you'd be interested in. Maybe the first time around, or, you know, be honest. So yeah, I think that's a great question. I don't feel like you can totally like screw this up so badly that you can't like win people back, you know?
Yeah.
Even people that were really going too. I mean, I stay friends with all of them. I support them in whatever cause they're doing. And whether they decided to be like uber successful with Isagenix or not, I know because I, you know, do try to focus on giving them the right steps that I've done everything I possibly could.
Right.
So, and a lot of times you can't change somebody's mind or the mindset that they're in currently, and you just have to wait for them to come back and be ready at a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let me just go through those steps with you guys real quick. For some of you, this might be redundant, but that's how we learn. Okay. So the first one is enroll them. Like use an enrollment form, a new associate enrollment form. You can find that on isagenixbusiness.com or in your back office under training and resources. You want to send them a welcome email. So in the top of the Team Break Free group on Facebook, the Facebook page, you guys want to go under files, the file section. There's a sample welcome letter in there. And I say sample because I want you to make it your own, even though there's some basic things in there that they need to do. They need to register for the newsletter. It talks about that, talks about how to get their products paid for. It talks about where to find coaching. You know, if they couldn't get a hold of you, what would they do? They need coaching, right? So they'll be in the group, that they'll have websites, other things they can plug into. Talks about the team training call. Okay, that's very key because at any moment they decide to pop on a call and get excited, then great. You know, I mean, you've given them every resource from the beginning. And you want to be able to refer back to that too. That welcome letter is so key because I'm just telling you, like, you know, the guy was like, oh, hey, I have a question about, you know, auto shipment. I said, well, in the welcome email, it's going to guide you to some tutorial videos in your back office that you can watch on how to manage your auto ship, right? So they can go do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, the third thing was add them to the groups if they haven't already been added. Sometimes we'll add people in advance because we'll just like want to welcome them into the group, right? We'll be like, hey, you know, so-and-so is taking a look. So identify that. So if somebody is not placed an order yet, you know, please add them to the group so they can take a look and be connected to us. But let everybody else who's in the group know that they're just taking a look so that we can help support you in that cause of getting them to that next step of ordering.
Yeah.
And then if they have, always use like a welcome photo. I find these off of Google Images, you know, just anything pretty that says welcome. I think that's just a nice gesture and it's welcoming, right? Okay. And we want to comment on that and welcome people as well. The fourth thing is that you want to schedule their first check-in, and you got to be within 5 days of them receiving their order. And I always call this like, you really want to connect with them before day 5 hits that they've gotten their products and started, because anyone can start at any time. All they have to do is read their welcome guide from Isagenix and it tells them what to do, right? So you want to make sure you have a specific date and time to call them that first week and really go through the new associate interview. And like I said, I've got like a couple clients that I'm coaching currently right now. And so I just go through, like each one. Like I have like an actual file folder on each one of them. And inside of it is the new associate interview. And in the new associate interview, I have notes. And I go over, even though like I know their goals and everything like that, I go over this with them again because I feel like it's really important for them to solidify why they just ordered a $500 pack or whatever and want to get started. So I've got the notes from the new associate interview. And step 6 is really important. I even have notes of like when I've called them, although I have my online scheduler keeps track of this for me as well. I also have in there like who's their support team, right? You know, like, because that's a great way to get consultants as well. Like tonight I was like, you know, who's going to be your support team? And she's like, oh, well, my husband. And then I actually have a really close friend who's in a mommy group right now, who she's doing another program and it's not very successful. I said, well, let's reach out to her, you know? And so that's a part of why I do that as well. Step 6 on referral management is probably the most important part because you really want to identify how they want to handle referrals or how they want to handle when they're receiving results and people are getting excited. How do they want to handle that? Now, if they've gotten excited, like just because, you know, then you might just want to get them posting right away anyways and just, you know, post your story even before they have theirs and help them get their rebate, help them get their products paid for. So like I said, files, right? Okay. And I keep those in my office and it just helps make my life like so much simpler. And it also for my own mindset, my own sanity, it makes everything like more business minded and I feel more business oriented and organized. Okay. Step 5 is connect over the phone once a week. So for the first 4 weeks, because everything runs off of basically a 30-day program in Isagenix, I like to connect with them once a week. And during that time, we're going to have a lot of really amazing conversations. So don't be afraid to like really connect with them and dig deep and find out what they really need, because chances are they thought, oh, well, I can only afford this one time because they didn't know that they could get their products paid for. And that's a conversation that really needs to happen on like the first, second, third, fourth, like repetitively keep asking them that, not in a pushy way, but just to remind them, you know, hey, just wanted to remind you also, do you know anybody that could get excited about this? Because I would love for you to be able to receive a $150 to $370 rebate from Isagenix. Wouldn't that be nice? So just keep reminding them about the money. If you can remember those numbers, with 30 days, 2 30-day packs is a $150 rebate. 2 President's packs is a $370 rebate. So knowing those off at the top of your head, let them know, because people need to be shown the money. They need to know why that's important, right? You couldn't earn up to $820 in your first 2 weeks if we post out today and we get 2 people who get ready who get 2. There's little things like that. I mean, they're listening, you know? So all that good stuff. The 6th thing is, of course, get referrals. And when you do, you want to, again, use the section 6 of the new associate interview. And then on that step number 7 would be to actually work their referrals. Get on the phone, call them, get people pumped up, get people excited, right? So there's that. Okay, so, and then you just repeat the process like several times over and over and over and over and over in your Isagenix lifetime, okay? and that's it. I mean, I've got like a file cabinet like from IKEA. I think it was like 99 bucks or something, and I keep all these files in there. And it's nice to be able to go back and to be able to see the work that I've done and be able to see the value that I've created in other people's lives, regardless of whether they decide to be a super duper rock star or not, right? So, you know, I'm always offering, but they get to decide in the end if they're going to go forward and become consultant or manager or executive and all that good stuff. Okay. Now, I know that you guys are working, you guys are out there, you're working hard. There's so much going on. So I literally want to make this a Q&A. I don't, because we've had so much, like, we've had a ton of like inspiration and motivation. And we talked about even, you know, last Zoom chat, we talked about meditation in the morning and really getting your mind right. And I do want to bring this back up around mindset and motivation. It is so critical to your business that you incorporate personal development. If you don't, you will not succeed. Because this business, you guys are doing this in the pockets of your life. You're doing it at home. Some of you guys are so like concerned with your environment, your current environment right now, whatever the bills are, whatever the relationship issue is, whatever the family situation is. There's so much going on. If you do not incorporate personal development on a daily basis, you're not going to make it. And I know that sounds really harsh, but it is the truth. Absolute truth. The faster that you can overcome hurdles as an entrepreneur and as a network marketer, the more success you will create. Because it's not that you're not going to have hurdles. It's that you need to overcome them. And the faster you can overcome those obstacles and those hurdles. And, because this can be an emotional business where we are working with people. And sometimes when you're working with people, it feels like you're herding cats, Like if you can imagine, you're like, pick up one cat, put it in the ring. Pick up the other cat, put it in the ring, the other one jumps out. You got 20 cats all around you, and you're like, ah, right? So you need to understand that personal development is how you control your emotional state through this process. And we've had an amazing book of the month last month in September, The Law of Attraction. If you couldn't get past the first chapter, skip to track 4. Okay. Mm-hmm. And even Kim, I told Kim that. I'm like, Kim, and thank heavens she called me because we were doing a little conference call and she was struggling with some things that were happening in her organization. And I told her, I said, listen to track 4. It's like the only thing that I was like, how can I serve Kim? And that's the first thing that popped in my head. She needs to listen to track 4. And,
okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to share some of that?
Can I tell you, to be honest with you, I didn't listen to the full Law of Attraction. Well, I have the book, but I didn't have the audio.
Yeah.
And having the audio is so different than the book because you can hear the voices and you can hear how she says it. Track 4 literally changed my life last night. And this morning at the gym, I'm literally on the row machine going, holy crap, right? I'm not kidding you. Track 4, you guys, is a life changer. And Scott listened to half of it on our way home and he goes, oh my gosh, I got to listen to that again. There's some notes that I want to take. And I liked what she said. You guys, I can't say enough about track 4. Like that just changed everything I did today and I'm going to do. Let's see. I think the part about the controlling, I don't know it enough to start rattling it off, but all I can say is amazing. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. No, you're on the right track. Thank you so much for sharing that because, and also Kim, 10 points for Kim. Thank you for doing the homework that was given to you. Seriously, because so many times you guys, we have a lot of drama going on, but the only thing that really matters is that we do what we said we were going to do. And if we hold ourselves to our word, we hold ourselves accountable, we are responsible regardless of what everyone else does, guess what? We win. We win. And that's not a selfish thing. That's you taking care of you first and then allowing the right people to come into your world. Attracting the right people. If you are feeling like there's a lot of things going on and like things that are out of your control, stuff like that, chances are you're feeling that way. And that's why, you might, in a week, you might attract one person that's like at that same level. And then week 2 comes along and you attract another one. And week 4 comes along and you have 7 people who are like so negative and complaining and needy and it just becomes very difficult. And you have to get right with yourself. That's another reason why I brought Bill Mayer on, because I loved his one slogan that said, get right with you, get right with Isagenix, because that is the truth of all of it. But I'll give you some tidbits because I don't want to give it all away. I really do want you to go back and read track 4. But track 4 really talks about the power of attracting, how you're doing it. And it also talks about the power of focus. When you focus on the negative things in your environment, when you focus on the things you can't change immediately, when you focus on, frustration, pain, fear, overwhelm, anxiety, disappointment, you get more of it.
Yeah.
The world sends you more of it because our mind we are so energetically connected to one another that the universe will say, oh, so that's what she's focused on? Okay, let's send her more of that because that's what she wants. What you focus on expands. It doesn't shrink, it expands. And it's so interesting because up until when I started hiring coaches, okay, like Bill Mayer and Melissa Clough and Jeffrey Combs and all those guys, I didn't realize what a negative mindset I still had. I thought, oh, I'm really positive, right? I'm happy, right? You know, but there were things that were in my life that I felt like I couldn't change immediately because there was such a big gap, right? Like from where I was at to where I wanted to go. And in order to close the gap, that starts with you. So seriously, 5 minutes of personal development. I love that Chris Harder he had a post on his Facebook day today where he said he really believes that you should spend 5% of your life focusing on yourself and focusing on personal development. And he said, I know that's a lot of time, but it's that important. And he is right. So right. Personal development is everything. If you can't visualize and see yourself out of a situation and you can't hyper focus on that consistently, you're not going to make it, because guess what? The birds are going to get you. I'm serious. Like whoever the birds are, right? I mean, it's like there's so much negative stuff always coming at us in this world and just the lifestyle that we live, that if we don't protect our mindset through personal development every single day, we're going to get taken away, right? It's like the flying monkeys. They just come and like lift you up for a sabbatical, and next thing you know, a week went by and you didn't contact anybody, you know?
Yeah.
And you get back to it, and then you're like mad and depressed and angry, and so then you start attracting people who are like frustrated and you know all that stuff. You know.
Well, you know what hit me.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I liked is when she said, and I won't give it away, but she said, whether you think so or not, or whether you believe this or not, it's law. It's an absolute. There are laws, and you know whether you believe it or not, it's true. So just like there's laws of gravity and traffic laws and government laws, there are laws of the universe, and it's an absolute, and you go against those laws and that's what you're going to get. So it's not like whether you think you believe in it or not. It is. It's an absolute, and this is the truth. And so and she says, if you think of more poverty, you get more poverty. If you think of more sickness, you get more sickness. And yeah, it was really a game changer for me. Absolutely. I'm going to go back and listen to it a third time, and this time take notes. And I can't believe that I didn't listen to it the first time. I mean, I read it, but I'm like, did I really read it? Or did I think I'm going to do Audible from now on with every.
Oh, yeah. Boom. Another 10 points for Kim. Okay. Because let me tell you why. Audible and like, I don't know. I'm like, I want to get it with all my senses. I can see a book in front of me, but I also want to hear the meaning. Like, especially when the author's reading, you really hear what they mean. It's like if I were to send you a text message, right, and you read it, versus me leaving you a voice message, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get up off your ass.
Exactly, it does. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I struggle thinking like, you know, what I just struggle to think of what my life would be like without these audiobooks that I guide you to all the time. I don't know if you guys have got into Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani yet, but talk about a massive wake-up call. Yeah, Anita Moorjani. That was the book for this month in October. It's actually quite short, so if you do get it on audio, it'll probably take you a day or two to finish. That's it. But it is the story of how we create. So the reason why these are in order like this, we did the law of attraction, which is something you should always go back to. Okay, when you start to struggle or anything starts to go disarray in your business or your personal life, go back to the law of attraction, because chances are there's something that you've missed or something you've forgotten to apply. We're not perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. And I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for, you know, accountability, responsibility, self, you know, like taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like managing your mindset. That's what I'm asking for. Because why? Because it's all I ask of myself, right? You know? So But yeah, Anita Moorjani's book is To Die For. The one after that will be Wishes Fulfilled by Wayne Dyer, which actually has a lot of biblical reference in it, but he does break it down, which is very unique and very interesting. And he talks about how to create the wishes that you want, wishes fulfilled. And so that will be the book for November. And I think it's a great book for November because how grateful would you be, right, when you reach your goals and when your wishes are fulfilled and all of those amazing things. And so I love the Wayne Dyer book, Wishes Are Fulfilled. And then I don't know what's going to happen in December, but I know it's going to be great. So you're going to love it. But yeah, we need to get right with us and get right with Isagenix. And the best way to get right with Isagenix is to get right with ourselves. So I really want you to make a commitment to yourself tonight that you'll make personal development a part of your day. And I do have to tell you that it's been a struggle for me in the past to get it done. And now I have to go to the gym. So when I go to the gym and I stick that headset in my ear, I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to audiobooks. When I'm in my car, I have the Bluetooth Connect. So guess what? The same book is playing in my car. It's like I can't get enough of it right now because, my goals are big. And I know your guys' goals are big. And if I even for a second go back into my old patterns, my old ways, my old habits where I would say, well, that's not going to happen because it didn't happen that year or that 90-day or that, whatever. And we second guess ourselves. That is not okay. Stop doing that to yourself. It's like you're not giving yourself the gift of a brand new day. Mm-hmm. Every single day, God gave us a gift, which is another 24 hours. And in that time frame, we get to create and do and attract. And I can't think of anything better than that, So protect your mindset. Promise me that you'll protect your mindset. I cannot guarantee your success if you're not doing personal development. Mm-hmm. I can't. And I really want to say that I can, but even in the end, I really can't guarantee your success unless you're doing the personal development, which makes you feel good so that you will take action. Do you see how those go together? They're one. Just like the product and the business of Isagenix are one, and they're really, there's no separation. Okay. So is personal development and taking action. So, that's why it's so important. Okay. Next, does anyone have any other questions that they feel need to be addressed? Any other concerns, questions, comments? Anything exciting?
I have a question.
Okay, thank you.
It's not related to exactly what we're talking about, but I guess my question is, when you have a 3-week goal with someone and you talk about prices and packs and all that, what do you do when they tell you that, I'll get back to you, and they don't want to schedule a follow-up call? How do you handle that?
Are you doing price in a chat box or through text message?
No, like we're on the phone and we speak about their goals, go through prices, and then, they ask for a link. So what I do, I don't send them a link. I send them the picture with the packs and the breakdown, the price breakdown. So, that's what they ask for. And then sometimes they tell me that, I'll get back to you. But how do I make it so that they actually schedule a call?
First of all, I want to put this out there to you. I want you to put yourself in their shoes for a second. And I want you to ask yourself, when you say to somebody, particularly somebody that's offering you a product or a service, when you say to them, I'll get back to you, what has that meant to you in the past?
I mean, for me, that sounds like they're not ready.
Mm-hmm. What else?
But at the same time, I do know that it takes quite a few follow-ups. Yeah. So I feel like some people cannot make a decision unless they actually visually see what they're getting. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm not really sure how to handle it. I actually asked Chris Harder last week about this, and he said that what he tells them is that, I like to work on a schedule. So, we either need to schedule a call, or if you're not ready right now, I'd rather you tell me than going back and forth. Like, I just don't know how to phrase it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have all the right answers. I don't think that you're confused or anything like that. I think that's exactly what I would say. In fact, I said to the guy on the phone today, I said, do you feel like you have enough information to get started tonight? And he paused and said, well, maybe I should take a look at everything first. And I said, are you sure you want to wait? Or do you just want to get your products shipped? So sometimes I'll give them like a little bit of a back and forth, like an ultimatum. Are you sure you want to wait? Or are you ready? I mean, I think we should do it. Sometimes I even said that. I said, I think you're ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. Me, you, let's do this. Okay. And yeah, he was ready right then and there. So there's some other things you can say. I think Chris Harder answered it perfectly. You deserve to have clarity because you always are so busy. So don't just like be the nice guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to get clarity. And a lot of times I always will ask for the follow-up. I'll say, you know, when would you for sure be able to take a look at this? Okay, well, I'll be able to take a look at it, you know, at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Great. I'll call you at 4:30. So I don't wait for them to say if I can or not. I'm like, great. So, you know, if I called you at 4:30, you'd be ready. Well, maybe 5. Okay, well, just so you know, I have an appointment at 5:30. So even if I don't, I'm wanting them to know my time is valuable. And here's the other cool thing too. Like when I was on the phone with this guy and we first started talking, he said, hey, I said, yeah. He's like, I think it's really cool that you sent me a reminder text message. I said, oh yeah, that's my scheduling system. And he's like, you must talk to a lot of people in order to require a scheduling system. I said, I do. And so he's like, well, I feel honored, you know?
Wow.
I feel honored. And I think that's so cool. Yeah. You know, so when you treat your time like it's super valuable, and it is, you guys have little kids at home, you've got lives going on, you know, stuff like that. They will too, but not if you don't say it, not if you don't let it be known. Yeah. That's a great question to ask. I mean, seriously, that's a really good question to ask because I think oftentimes we're not sure if it's okay to require people's time, right? Because it's not like you're a doctor or you're, you know, whatever, you know, you're not sitting in an establishment, you know what I mean? Things like that. But your home is your home office. It's an establishment. You are actually receiving tax write-offs for working from home and, you know, being able to do all that. So really get business minded a lot faster.
But they don't know that. You know, they don't know that you are not, you know, as busy as maybe you say you are. They don't know that.
Right. No. So that's why you establish the criteria at which you want to be treated. You tell people how you want to be treated. Yeah.
And Leah, in your posts that you were sending, you know, qualify them. I liked what that gal had said, or I liked what was that you telling that to that gal?
Which one?
You know.
I asked her if she would like to be part of our product page.
Yes.
And then I said, well, let's go ahead and also schedule a 15-minute consultation. And I said, does that sound good? And she goes, well, she said yes for the product page, but no for the call. And I said, I'm sorry, but I cannot take on any clients unless I get on the phone with you. Yeah. I'm going to do this through here. It's way too time consuming. And so she agreed to have a call eventually. Well,
but still, you stood your ground. I loved that. And I loved what you said tonight about Chris Harder's response and Adrienne yours. I mean, this is perfect because I had that same, like, you know, message them and go, okay, are you ready? I know Raphael Capitan said, you know, this is how you get back with them. Are you ready to rock with this? You know, are you ready to go with us? Yeah. And, or something like that. But if they say, well, I need to get back to you, then you message them back and go, okay, well, in the past I was messaging them back going, are you ready to get going? They still didn't contact me. So even before they got off the phone, you have to nail them down.
But if you have their phone number, you can call them back at any time and leave them a voicemail even if they don't answer, right?
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes the more serious thing to do. Like, so Leah, like with this girl that maybe didn't get back to you or whatever right away, I probably would literally, I would skip a text message and skip a message online. And I would just call her and leave her a voicemail if she doesn't pick up, you know? So, I mean, that's one thing. You have the right to do that. You've already given them portions of your time. And if they say, you know, follow up with me in a week from now or when I get paid on Friday, you better call and follow up.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just send them a message. Call them back on the phone and then leave a voicemail. I cannot tell you how important it is. I said this last week. You are calling to connect with somebody. You're not incognito. You're not trying to like sideswipe somebody with a business opportunity, but you need to leave a voicemail. Professionals leave voicemails. If all you need to say is, hey, it's Kim, you know, give me a call back when you get a second, 801, whatever, whatever your phone number is, you know? And even if I don't know that person personally, when I called this guy at 6 p.m., you know, or whatever, if he didn't answer right away, I would have said, you know, hey, you know, name, this is Adrienne. Thanks so much for reaching out. I was just calling you at our appointment time. Please get back to me as soon as you can. I've got 15 minutes. I'm available for the next 15 minutes. Hang up the phone, you know? I schedule 15-minute appointment slots. Well, I schedule them for 30, even though it says free 15-minute coaching session. I actually schedule them for 30. But sometimes they get, back to back. But for the most part, yeah. Go ahead, Leah. What were you going to say?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I love all the questions, you guys. What else do you have? What else are you coming up against? What do you need?
Oh, I just remembered. Okay.
Woo!
So only when someone doesn't respect your time, so you have the first call and then you have the second call as a follow-up, they don't pick up, you try to reschedule and they just, you ask them, can you make it 2 or 4 p.m. and they're like, I'll let you know. And you tell them that you have to let me know because my schedule is packed. And they just basically don't respect your time. Do you just write them off or do you just keep connecting with them?
So I give them a 3 strikes, you're out policy, basically. So I will connect with them 3 times, and if they're still pushing me out or bumping me out or not respecting my time, then I'll bump them down to next month's role. So basically I'll on my tracker form and, actually in my notebook, because I have a notebook, a tracker form, and I also have the visual aid that we talked about last week, the Freedom Funnel. So I will literally move them back into the clarity, they're still trying to gain clarity section of my board.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you've reached out to them, chances are that they can be ready eventually. But, you're talking about a product user, and you will do sometimes quite a bit of chasing with somebody who is a product user. So when you're making calls to call people to introduce them to a business opportunity, that's a totally different thing.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about finding business builders, because that's what I know we all need to find to make this contest and advance and rank. And yeah, let's talk about how you would bring up the business and doing the business and getting them started with that.
So the first thing is, I always tell people, we used to say you want a list of 100 names. I actually disagree. I think you want 200 names. I think you require 200 names written down to really get yourself off the ground. Yeah. So I always say, put down 200 names and then let them sit there. Okay. For a second, you're in your office, get all the names down, get everybody out of your phone, scroll through your phone. Anybody you've connected with that you feel is amazing on Facebook or would be even better at this than you, or they've had network marketing experience, or they're a professional or an entrepreneur, a real estate agent, a salon owner, somebody like that, that's business minded. Write their name down. Even if you don't have their contact information yet, write their names down, okay? And the next step after that is you really want to sort of start the step of gravitating towards your ideal client, gravitating towards your ideal business partner, somebody you really want to work with. And that's why, remember how when we first started, we had a mock executive chart with characteristics of the people that we want in our organization? I have mine right here, right? You can kind of see that. Can you see that? I can't see. The top 10 qualities of my new leaders?
Yeah, we can see that.
All right. And I have all of them written out there.
Yep.
So this is who I'm attracting on a daily basis. Somebody like that. So what you want to do is go back to your list and start circling the people who you feel identify with all of those qualities and call them first. So you want to go through, and you can do this by month. Every single month, you guys can pull out your lists, all your lists, combine, recombine, restructure, whatever you need to do. Go back through past people, stuff like that, everything. Go back through that and see if they fit those qualities now, and circle their names. So you'll probably go through and you'll be like, gosh, I just really don't want to call Melissa, or I really want to connect with Michelle, you know what I mean? And I really want somebody who's this person, maybe it's not for her, but maybe she'll know somebody, right? That's like her, that's looking. So pull out a big names list, okay? Put it in wherever you can see it. Just grab a memory jogger, print out 2 memory joggers off of the isagenixbusiness.com and fill them out, and then just get the names down. Circle the ones who you feel currently reflect those immediate characteristics or qualities that you're looking for in your leaders, and then use the Eric Worre scripts and start calling people. There's a list, there's a script for warm market. There's a script for cold market. There's a script for people that you really respect. You know, there's scripts that need to be used, and practice those scripts before you call them, please. So, you know, before you just like, I mean, I always think excitement is best and passion wins out every single time. But if you could just go through and kind of role play with yourself in a mirror, or with your husband, or with a partner, you know, a loved one, or just a friend even, and say, hey, I'm calling this big person that I really want to partner with this person. How does this sound? Like if I were to call and say this to you, how would you respond? You'd be so happy. Huh, Mia? Hi. She's so cute. Right? Mia will be happy when you practice your scripts. Okay? So practice your scripts. Don't go in there blind. I mean, like, just don't. Okay? Like if you were trying to put a price tag on these people's heads. I mean, if each person that you called was worth $1,000 to you, wouldn't you want to have a little bit of practice under your belt before you called that person? Yeah. So, you know, go through that process in your mind. Go through some of those scripts where, you know, you might go, you know, hey, Kim, how are you doing? It's been a long time. I haven't talked to you in a while. Oh, good. And I formed them, right? How's your family? Oh, great. Oh my gosh. You know, how's work going? Oh, it's work. It's all right. It's, you know, whatever. They're not that thrilled or excited about it or whatever. They didn't get to take their family vacation this summer because they were working so much or whatever it was, you know, and, you know, recreation, well, did you guys do anything fun? Well, no. So she just said that, right? Let's just imagine she's like, yeah, we didn't do anything fun this summer because I had work all summer. And, you know, my husband lost his job. And so I'm working overtime to pay for the kids' lives and their bills and everything we're doing, right? So, you know, then you would go in, and the M is for message. So that's when you start your message. Well, you know, Kim, I've always really respected you. I know that you're a very hard worker, and you're somebody that I really admire. And I want you to know that I've started a business, and I'm really excited about it. And I would love to see if you keep your career options open, because I think you and I would make a great team. And she'll probably be like, well, Kim, what is it? What's your business? What are you doing? Da, da, da. Well, it's in the health and wellness industry. And, you know, you're the first person I called, but I'm actually calling quite a few people after this. So would it be okay if I sent you a link? Because that would explain it a lot better and a lot faster for you. And then we can just schedule a follow-up call to see if this is for you or not. Right? I mean, that's fairly simple and not that invasive. You know what I mean? Like, so you schedule an appointment. If I sent you a link, would you take a look? Okay, great. You know, when, you know, so would it be okay if I called you back on Friday at 5 p.m.? You know, sure, that'd be great. It's right before I have to go out to dinner or take some clients out to dinner. Okay, great. You know, I'll call you then. And then follow up with her. What did you like about it? What did you like about what you saw? What else? You know, I really want you to consider that if time and money were not a problem, what would you really be doing with your life? What would you really be doing? Because right now you told me you're working overtime and, you know, trying to pay all the bills, and Bob lost his job. And, you know, so, you know, what is that you really want to do in your life? This could be a real opportunity for you to start over if we decide to partner, you know? So you can go through so many scripts. I mean, I'm combining probably like 5 scripts. I'm combining like Jeffrey Combs scripts and Eric Worre scripts and Max Steingart scripts. And you know what I mean right now? So it's like, I've studied those scripts. You know what I'm saying? So you pick one and know kind of what that person would need, you know, if it's somebody you know and, you know, you respect them a lot, tell them that. Create a genuine compliment. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason I'm calling you. I think you're amazing. And I'm looking to expand my business in your area, you know, or, you know, we're opening Europe 2017 and I know that you've got some European connections. Or if you want to go like the back burner so that you're not like, you know, overwhelming them, you know, if it's somebody who knows you're in Isagenix already, you know, well, as you know, I'm in Isagenix and I'm really excited because we're opening Europe and I've got these amazing goals and I'm looking for new leaders to coach. I'm looking for new business partners. Do you know anybody who'd be interested in making some extra cash right now? Or maybe don't say making extra cash. I usually say that to a product user, but, you know, I would say, you know, do you know anybody who's looking for extra income right now? Or do you know anybody that's unhappy or dissatisfied with their job and is looking for something else? These are the characteristics I'm looking for. And you can even go back to your 10 list. I'm looking for people who are energetic, focused, a finisher. I'm looking for somebody who would be mentor independent and coachable. Is that you? Do you know what I'm saying? Is that helpful or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, is that helpful or no? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, it is.
Good.
So if they say yes, we want to get going, then take us to the next step and getting them started with signing people up and getting people, keep sustaining that.
So I would probably be like, if I knew you, I'd be like, so you ready? And they're like, yes, I'm ready to go. Great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What pack do you want to come in with? Let's get you going. We got to get those products shipped to your house so you can be an example of these. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this food in your mouth and let's start calling some people. Who do you know that would be interested? I would literally go right off the bat with them. And honestly, get them enrolled and then schedule a new associate appointment. Say, training starts on Monday at 5 p.m. I'm going to call you and we're going to go through and I'm going to interview you basically on how I can help you achieve your goals. And go through the whole new associate interview. Not just the product, I don't know if you guys have seen one lately, but there's so much product portion up front, right? That when the real magic happens is after question 6, where you start going through like, how much money do you want to make? If time and money weren't a problem, what would you be doing? Okay, what are your commitments? I commit to compiling a list of the top 10 people I want to partner with, and we'll discuss this with my support team leaders within the first 48 hours. Bam. Okay. I commit to pursuing further and continual education to improve my skills as a networker. Can you commit to reading a book of the month and commit to going through isagenixbusiness.com start here section and not moving on until you do that? Okay. Then once they're done as a manager, that's when I go, okay, guess what? It's time to truly launch your business. We need to start a 90-day run with you. 90 days can be started at any time, you guys. I commit to develop and follow my 90-day game plan. That's part of the question, right? I commit to make blank connections, 10 connections per day, and utilize all forms of communication, social media, face-to-face, phone, launch parties, super Saturdays, opportunity meetings. I commit to attending the next Core 4 event, NYKO. Right? You guys, every tool that you need is at your disposal, and you're not using it.
No, because maybe we don't know how to use it. We don't know what.
So again, it's not how. It's why aren't you? Yeah, it's
because we're not. Well, I'm speaking for myself because I'm not organized, and it's where was that form? Oh, where was this? And so that's why I'm all over the place. That's why when I would sign someone up, that process would be all over the place.
Okay, I want you to take a good look at my office desks for a second. Okay.
Oh, I love your backdrop.
So I know you can make one anytime. I've got like my stuff back there too. But if you look at my desktop, there are folders. These are names. These are workouts I give people for free. These are all, you know what I mean? Like files. I have like literally immediate files. I pulled these out to show you guys for the thing. They go here next to my microphone. They go right here. What am I supposed to be doing? Coaching these people. Okay. They go in my system. This notebook is filled with names. This notebook is filled with names. Okay. And I want, because I know visual is like such a huge part of this process, but part of getting right with yourself is saying enough. I'm done messing around and like tiptoeing around my own success because that is miserable. Trust me, I've done it. Nothing is more miserable than failure to launch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it is devastating.
It's miserable.
Yeah. And it's not just devastating to you. It's devastating to, the people that you bring in as well. I mean, it's very difficult for everybody all around. So you must get right with yourself. You deserve to be organized, neat, orderly, and organized. Make that a part of what you say to yourself in the morning. I am neat, orderly, and organized. I'm a finisher. I'm motivated. I'm self-motivated. I don't need anybody but me. I'm self-motivated, right? I motivate me. Who's going to make money today? This girl. I'm working today. Yeah. Who am I going to connect with today? This list. Where am I going to track my points? In my tracker form. How do I know what I've done? I've tracked it. Yeah. And you guys, guess what? I promise you, when you start doing those basic steps, everything will change in your world. Everything that you focused on and everything that you truly desire and you want is on the other side of you getting serious. Everything. It's everything. Yeah. So don't ask yourself how to. Ask yourself, why haven't I yet? Right? Why not me? Right?
Where did you get your backdrop?
Yes. Okay, let's talk about backdrops, because you guys, a lot of times we do video conferencing with people, right? You know? So this backdrop was put together through tri-fold poster boards, like the tri-fold poster boards that you get at the craft store.
Yeah.
I used 4 of them because my ceilings are 10 feet tall, so I needed quite a large amount of them, and I duct taped them together. And then this is a stick and peel wallpaper.
Where?
From Target, $35.
So you went to, where did you go to get the trifold poster boards?
Michael's.
How tall?
They're pretty tall, but I did 2 and 2. So like this, like watch, look. Okay, so I did 2 here, top and bottom, and 2 here, top and bottom. So
okay.
Tall, not wide.
Okay. So then, and then you wallpapered them?
Mm-hmm.
With what? What is it? Where do you get that?
Well, stick and peel, and it's literally like there's like so many different designs at Target.
Stick and peel from Target?
Yeah. And it's like $35. And not that that's going to make like a huge difference in your business or anything, but if it makes you feel better, do it.
Well, I'm just saying, if you started doing conference call or video or something, then that would be nice to put up. You can slide it, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you pulled up, you showed us notebooks of your names list. So you need notebooks, which I have.
Yeah.
And then of course folders to put your tracker forms in, right?
Well, your new associate interviews. Yeah. And you do need a folder for yourself with your tracker forms. Absolutely. The best thing you could do for yourself, and this is actually the challenge, the call to action for this week, is that I want you guys to start posting your points. Post how many people you've connected with, like every Monday before noon. Post out in the group. In fact, I'm going to start doing a post that just says, hey, post out how many connections you made. Post out how many, presentations you did. Post out how many, and I'll give you like a guideline, and I'll tell you how many I've done. Okay, but post out there, how many gratitudes, how many times a day did you call somebody or tell somebody that you were grateful for them? Because I'll tell you what, gratitude and love are probably one of the 2 most attractive forces that you can possess, okay? And by that I mean waking up and finding something to be grateful for before your feet hit the ground in the morning will set yourself up for success in everything you're doing that day. Before you make that phone call and you've practiced your scripts, maybe think for a moment or meditate upon this person and why you're grateful for them. Why you guys would make great partners. Lead with that. And, and love on these people and love on yourself. When you start to get negative or say mean things to yourself, because I know that we all have in the past, stop it. Give yourself a freaking break. You are learning. You're developing, you're growing every single day. I know that we're all out of school and out of college now and everything else, but that doesn't mean the lessons of life have ended, right? So give yourself a break. You're not a loser if you only called 2 people that day, right? If you called 1 person, I'd be super duper happy. 1. Called 1 person and connected. Did 1 presentation. Followed up with 1 person that day. It's baby steps, you guys. It's the little things you do every single day that are going to bring you success. And if you don't do any, if there's no number posted, I can't guarantee that you're doing anything. So why would I take responsibility for you and your success? Why would you take responsibility for your teammates' success if they're showing you zeros? Time to move on, right? Yeah, no hard feelings. Gonna love them where they're at, but you can't work with somebody who's not working with you. Makes sense, right? You need to ask yourself every single day, would I hire me today? Did I do enough that I would be able to keep me on board financially, right? So, I know I'm getting kind of crazy, but it's the truth. And I really don't think that it's a good source of, or a good use of time to waste your time and tell you anything otherwise. So you need to be organized. You need to get serious about your business. You need to have a top 10 quality list. You need to have a book with names in it. You need to have a place where you write this stuff down. You need to find yourself a scheduler. But get yourself organized and scheduled, because when you don't, everything falls apart. Like a house of glass, right? One stone. And, you know, have lists. And if you need a fancy backdrop, great, do it. It's a lot of fun. Just don't let it take any time out of your prospecting time that day. 1 hour a day of prospecting time. And I always used to say this, 2 people a day keep the bill collector away. But if you can do 1 person a day, do it, please. Get the 1 in. Leah, how many people, you enrolled 7 people. How many people do you think you spoke to consistently or reached out to on a daily basis? Give us some numbers.
It was not the same every day, because some days I would reach out to 10 people. It's not some days to 50 people. So I really don't know.
Right, it's a lot. I know you talked to me about like being organized too. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to so many people. What do I do? I said, you need a big planner or big fat calendar with lines in it. And if you can't find one of those, oh, I told you I was going to send you the name of that one. Where is mine? Hold on, I'm going to send it to you. Because right now I'm just using notebooks, but in the past I had a big, hey George, Jorge, what was that planner that we used last year that we really liked? Yeah, what was it called? Where is it? I'm like not reaching past my. Remember the planner that had like, it worked you down from like your thought processes into the action steps, the to-do steps?
Yeah, the pad.
Is it? I think it might be in that drawer. Or it's, I think it's in my nightstand. But what, do you remember what it was called?
Planner
Pad?
Pad planner, hold on.
Pad planner,
It's
something
right
like
there.
that. And it's just like a black notebook. And it's, what I like is that it has like, you go through like by priority, right? And it's got like a ton of lines with appointment times too.
Oh, that'd be great. I definitely need one.
Yeah, I really like, I mean, you could go to Office Depot and find that too. It is better. He's searching for it. But until then, use a notepad, just a regular notepad. And just make sure you get the names down, because I never throw these away. Are you kidding me? This is like gold. I can kind of say, I think that's it. What is it? Show me what the pages look like. I'm so glad we're talking about organization tonight, you guys. It's so key. Look at this. 7, 13, 16. These are all the people I connected with on 7, 13, 16. Call times. I would never, ever throw this away. You guys go back through these. Prospects. 8, 17, 16. A month later. Right? Don't allow yourself to get sidelined. Having a system like this works. It works. Okay? And there's people I've reached back out to. Okay, and like, you know, I mean, yeah, there's notes from my coaching calls in here. This is like gold. This is like the book of Adrian. Okay. I have another book of Adrian that's right here that talks about my values, but Adrian's got lots of books, okay? So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do that. Okay? How do I get right with myself? I always know what's up. Okay? I know what I'm supposed to be focused on. When I'm not focused on it, it doesn't feel good. And honestly, when I am, it feels great, right? How many of you guys know that, like innately? You know when you feel good and you know when you don't feel good, okay? That is your thermometer. That is your daily gauge that basically lets you know that you're on the right track or you're off track. You're either on the right track or you're off. So you don't need to analyze like, why am I doing this? Why am I not organized? Why do I suck at this business? Oh, I'm the worst salesperson. Oh, I'm so bad at isogenics. Oh my gosh, I look so ugly today. I didn't go to the gym and I only had 1.5 shakes. Like whatever, okay? I'm so over that talk. Like it doesn't work at all. It does not work. So what you need to know, don't keep asking yourself why. You're just going to get more of that BS, okay? So just stop asking yourself why. And then focus in on, doesn't feel good, feels good. Doesn't feel good, feels good. And the more, it's the only thing that matters. When it comes to making changes in your life, it either doesn't feel good or it feels good. Having a planner pad feels good no matter what it looks like, right? Having a file on my clients feels good no matter what it looks like, right? So, having my tracker form filled out feels good. When there's not as many, it doesn't feel good. Okay, so let's gauge it. Okay, so last week, what on Thursday at such and such time did not feel so great. But guess what? On Friday, I was a rock star. I picked it up. Guess what? Friday's all that matters now. Because everything else is in the past. Right? So tomorrow, if today felt that way, guess what? Tomorrow is going to feel really good because now you have the tools, you're on the right track. You're going to fill out your tracker form and post your points out Monday before noon. I'm going to put a little thing out there that says, hey, post your points on your tracker form. Let me know what you've done, and it's for you. I can't make you do that. I can't force you to do that. It's not supposed to be an embarrassment. It's honestly just accountability, responsibility, and being able to look at your numbers and know that there are so many people doing the same thing, right? So that's what that's about. And I'm over by 7 minutes. This is the longest Zoom chat ever. I'm so sorry.
No, thank you.
Apologies for that, but I feel like this really needed to be said. That tonight, talking about organizing your life, basically getting right with you, getting right with Isagenix, what to say, what scripts to use, how to plan your day. I mean, yeah.
And what feels good and what feels bad. Feel good or feel bad.
Yeah, it's the only thermometer you need to think about. This feels good, this feels bad. Good, bad. Okay, now I know what to do. I'm going to do it more of what makes me feel good. When I make calls, I feel good, regardless if I'm nervous or not. But when I've done the call and I've made the call, I feel good. All right? Regardless of what they say, I feel good.
Or how many? You did it. You just did it.
How many?
Yeah.
Seriously. Simple things. 1 to 2 people per day. If you really want to get up a notch, start sending a lot of messages on social media to people, on LinkedIn. Send messages to professionals. Let them know what you're doing. Meet that list. Call that list. Circle that list with the people who you feel have the best traits of who you want to work with and connect with them. That. Loud. Hold on. Managing participants. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, anyways, you guys, you've got a whole weekend to pick up your tracker form where you left off and print out. You guys, this is a 90-day run. You should have 12 tracker forms printed out because there's 12 weeks in 90 days, right? So there's 12 weeks in 90 days, okay? Minus the time that we're going to be in NYKO. You've still got, enough time to finish out we've got November, December. I mean, you guys, we're still in it. Print out some tracker forms and have those in a folder and then keep track of those because they've got names on them, right? And there's people you're connecting with and working with, and next month you're going to roll them to the bottom, right? So connect with a minimum of at least 60 people out of your 100 to 200 names list because that's about what you need to go full time, okay? 60 people in your pipeline. Actively corresponding, sending information, and following up as many times as it takes, okay? And I know I've given you guys a lot tonight, but I think you can handle it. Okay? I think you can handle it. We're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. That's why we have this Zoom chat call. Anytime outside of this that you need a guidance or assistance, please message me. Please go to my scheduling link and schedule an appointment. I don't care if you had a 15-minute coaching call the day before. If you need another one, schedule one, okay? Schedule it. Let's get you back on track and moving forward to what feels good. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being on. Thank you for your participation. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this attitude that you guys have, this never quit attitude. That was it, Leah. Planner pad. Okay, hold on. I was ending this call, but, oh, notes. See this? Weekly listed activities, like what do I need to get done this week, right? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then down here it even gives time frames, appointments. Will that be helpful?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they have it on Amazon, but where did you
You
get
show
it?
what it is.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean show it? I did show
The
it.
name.
Oh no, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you though.
And where to buy it?
Okay, you just go to, what is it, plannerpad.com?
Yeah.
We got the jumbo one, the big one. The small one, I bought the small one the year before and it wasn't enough space for me. There's also a bunch of space in the back for like goals and notes.
I'm gonna check it out now.
No. No. Yeah, plannerpads.com. Okay. Well, I already. Josh. Okay. Plannerpads.com. Thank you, honey. Okay. All right, you guys. Get organized. Get right with you. Get right with Isagenix. Do whatever it takes every day to feel good. Okay? Most important thing. Feel good before you make calls. Get grateful before you make calls. Call me if you need some pump up before you make a call. Okay? All right. Make those lists and connect with those people. Circle. All right? You're welcome. Make it a great week. I love you guys. Bye, baby Mia. I want to kiss you and squeeze you. I love it. Bye, you guys. We'll see ya.